Today, I am answering your questions. I posted on the YouTube community tab asking you to ask me a question, and here we go. First, we're starting with Keywan McNeil 9552. He asks, what has been your favorite wrestling match this year? Does it matter if from WWE, AEW, TNA, etc., etc.? For me, it has been Cody versus Roman 2, and he goes on to list a couple more matches as well. Personally, my favorite match of this year, WrestleMania 40, main event night 1, actually. I loved Roman Reigns teaming up with The Rock versus Cody and Seth Rollins. I thought that storyline was so amazing. I really began to appreciate Seth Rollins during this time frame as the workhorse of WWE, someone who loved WWE. I was a big fan of Cody Rhodes. I was a Cody crybaby. I had no idea that his title reign would suck after the fact, but at this point, I still had high hopes for a really good title run. But really, what really made this match so special for me were two things. One was The Rock. I am a huge heel Rock fan. Not so much a babyface Rock fan. I mean, I like him as a babyface, but as a heel, I adore The Rock, and I go all the way back. I saw him debut at Survivor Series 96 thinking, Rocky sucks. I remember when he won his first Intercontinental title and thinking, Rocky sucks. I was part of the reason that Rocky turned heel and joined the Nation of Domination, because I was, Rocky sucks, and I just fell in love with him as part of the Nation. Then he went kind of babyface, but then he turned it around and became the corporate champion. Wow, he was so good. And then he was just too popular and he had to turn face, but then he went off to Hollywood. He came back and he was Hollywood Rock for a while, but again, he was just too popular as a bad guy, had to turn face again. Heel Rock is so freaking good, and I never thought I would get to experience that again. And then here he is, just week after week, just lambasting crowd after crowd, and I gotta see a 40-minute wrestling match with heel Rock. I thought he would have Roman do all the heavy lifting, but no, he was an equal participant, and he was the heel. Man, it was a dream come true. And then his tag team partner, Roman freaking Reigns, he's at 1,315 days into his title run. We will never get that version of Roman again. Now, we have a face Roman right now, and Roman's going to probably always be similar to this, but this was evil Roman Reigns at his peak. And we got to see him with The Rock, heel Rock. It was just amazing. That match was all character driven for me, and I was just able to experience something that I never thought I would experience again with heel Rock, and something that we will never experience again with Roman at the peak of the bloodline / title reign that lasted 1,316 days. And then they won. I'm just so, it was just so great. It was just remembering it now. I thank you for asking that question, because I don't think I would have ever really taken the time to appreciate how much I loved that match until maybe years later or something. But yeah, I had to think about it, and I just couldn't deny that was the match for me. The next question comes from Brian's Wrestling. He is a member of the channel. He supports the channel, but his name is BR Goldstein, but it's Brian's Wrestling. If you want to check his channel out, Brian Wrestling, he's a member of the channel, and he asks this: what pay-per-view in the past that you wished you were able to attend? If you have multiple, that's fine. I know I do. It's not a pay-per-view or PLE, but during the Attitude Era, I never went and saw a Monday Night Raw. I went to a Survivor Series, a Vengeance, a Monday Nitro, but I never saw a Monday Night Raw during the Attitude Era, and I heavily regret that. I was living in Michigan at the time, basically right outside Detroit, and the episode in which Stone Cold Steve Austin drives a Zamboni down the ring and launches himself over the cops and starts beating up Vince McMahon, I could have been to that. I could have been there. That is such a historic moment and episode of Raw that it's just, I missed it. And it still pains me to this day that I did not go see a Raw, let alone one of the most historic moments in the Monday Night Wars. I missed it. No reason why, just I didn't go. And so, yeah, that for sure. PLE though, Royal Rumble 2020, that one hurts because I was in Houston at the time when it happened. But without getting too into it, in all seriousness, I was dealing with some mental health issues at the time, and I did not want to be around people. So, and I'm over it. So we don't even need to dwell on it. But that's the reason why I did not even think about going to that Royal Rumble. And looking back, now that I'm over it all, I really regret not pushing through, because that's the Royal Rumble where the first half was all Brock Lesnar just chucking people out. And then when Drew McIntyre Claymore kicked him out of the Royal Rumble, I remember popping so hard just by myself watching it that if I had been there in that arena with all those people, oh man, that would have been so amazing. And especially now that I love Drew McIntyre so much, I would have just loved to be there when Drew McIntyre finally arrived as a main event player, a mainstay in the main event. And I really do regret missing Royal Rumble 2020. And if you want to support the channel and win this belt, or speaking of Stone Cold Steve Austin, you can win the Smoking Skull belt or the Winged Eagle belt. All you gotta do is subscribe to the channel and comment below. Once I hit 10,000 subscribers, then hey, I'm gonna pick a random comment on a random video and someone's gonna randomly win the belt. Your choice. I'll ship it for free even. Or if you want to join the channel like Moneybird or Blade Master 2846 or Brian's Wrestling, who just commented, you can join the channel membership as well. If you look down there or down there, I can't remember where it is, somewhere down there, there's an option to join. I'd appreciate it, but you don't have to enjoy the channel. I just appreciate you guys staying here, watching the videos, clicking on the videos, and sharing your love of wrestling with me and my love of wrestling. Let's get to the next question. Jose Duplessis, 3848. What's the best tag team of all time for you? Demolition, Walking Destruction. I loved Demolition. I'm not even sure if that was their theme song. It just kind of came from the recesses of my mind to sing it like that. I apologize. I know I don't have a voice for radio. I have more of a face for radio. Demolition, while yes, they were a knockoff Legion of Doom, I was pure WWE as a child. I didn't even know the Road Warriors existed. I loved Demolition, but I would say that honorable mention would be the Usos. God, I love the Usos. They are so good, so oozy. Love them, but Dudley Boys. The Dudley Boys are just amazing. I feel that when Bubba Dudley was powerbombing women during the Attitude Era, specifically Mae Young, I was just like, holy crap, what is this? I feel the Dudleys are by far the greatest tag team of all time. I wish during their final run in WWE, they would have got a couple more wins. I totally understand them putting over the Next Generation, which they should have, but I don't know. I felt they lost a little too much, and I just wish they would have got one more really good run in WWE, but it doesn't matter. Dudley Boys, to me, are top of the food chain when it comes to tag team wrestling. The most underrated wrestler, Damian King 42 asks, and I would say if we're talking right now, Chelsea Green is very underrated. She is so good as kind of a comedic character or a really chicken heel that you guys don't realize that she's an amazing wrestler actually, and I don't know if she'll ever really get to demonstrate that because she's such a good comedy character. Comedy characters can have a long shelf life, but they don't usually win titles. As far as guys, I would say Finn Balor. At one point, Finn Balor might have been rated just where he should be, one of the greatest, one of the best. But now, I think people have forgotten that he's a really good wrestler. Damian Priest overshadowed him in Judgment Day. That's fine. Judgment Day made a star in Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. That's awesome. But in the process, Finn Balor has been so overshadowed that we forget that this guy's the first Universal Champion. We forget this guy is the founding member of the Bullet Club. We forget how good Finn Balor is, and I think he is just so underrated in the current product. Of all time, maybe Owen Hart. I feel Owen Hart was just kind of lost in the storylines of the Attitude Era, but I feel like, I don't know, I just wish he would have won the title. I just wish he would have won the big one. Come At Me Now says, I'm new to your channel, so pardon me if I haven't seen the answer before. What is your favorite stipulation match? First off, I'm going to break this down into 3 parts. My favorite match of all time is the Royal Rumble. I love the Royal Rumble even more than WrestleMania. It is a great, amazing, the surprise appearances. Everybody has a little showcase, and then it's a kingmaker. It's a way to say, hey, this is the challenger for WrestleMania. The surprises, the everything, just amazing stuff. But I feel it's a cop-out because it's so great. Everybody loves the Royal Rumble. Who doesn't love the Royal Rumble? So my favorite match, though, with a stipulation, the TLC matches between the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian. To me, this was just amazing, crazy stuff. I had never seen wrestling like this before. It had taken it to a new level, and it still told a story. It wasn't like today where all you have to do is hit somebody with a steel chair and people think that spot makes the match good. No, it doesn't. A good match with a chair spot like that enhances the match, but it doesn't make the match, and people fail to understand that. So at the time, I loved those matches, but I do feel they probably did a lot of harm to the industry and to a lot of people who thought, jump off a ladder and break a table, and that's a good wrestling match. I don't know. I'm an old man yelling at a cloud, but yeah, those were my favorite matches within a stipulation. But my overall favorite stipulation match of all time is a steel cage, but not just any steel cage, the big blue steel cage. WWE, for some reason, didn't want to have a steel cage like all the other wrestling companies where it was kind of like fence or mesh. I don't know how you really describe it, but yeah, not like you would see in a Hell in the Cell, that kind of steel cage. No, it was just a big blue steel cage, and it was just, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it looked really good. And then when the Attitude Era came, then WWE went away from it, and I was kind of like, why? This looks more menacing in reality. It looks like these are real steel bars. You know what I'm saying? I felt like ramming someone's head into a fence or steel bars, which one would hurt more? The steel bars, right? But, I don't know. Anyways, I love the big blue steel cage. Probably never come back. That was a great question, and unfortunately, it's also the last question for now. I'm going to have to split this video up into multiple videos because, I don't know, I guess I just talk too much. I love wrestling. I don't script any of this. I just go. I turn the camera on, and I go, and I talk wrestling. And yeah, you want to keep a YouTube video between 8 and 12 minutes, so that's what I'm going to do. But I promise you, I have all of the questions. I've actually even filmed the answers to these questions already. I will just release them maybe on Wednesday, Tuesday. I don't know. I'll release them later in the week, and we'll just keep this going. If you have any more questions, just ask them, and I'll include them. I'll film some more. I will answer all of your questions. And guys, girls, have a great day.